Hi everyone, Pastor Brian here, and I wanted to share with you a few things from my heart about why I'm excited about this next season for us in the life of our church as we jump back into our expository teaching series in the Gospel of John, Why Should We Believe? And also, we're going to be celebrating the Lord's table or communion together weekly for a few months. And I'm calling it our weekly communion experiment. Monty explained it really well last week, and I wanted to share my heart with you as well. Jesus, when he instituted the Lord's table or communion with his disciples, he said, as often as you do this, remember me. He didn't prescribe that it should be done weekly or monthly or any kind of frequency. In fact, you may not know this, but just a few years ago, the Ascent Church celebrated communion weekly, and then we went to a monthly format. And we've been celebrating communion on the first Sunday of every month for a number of years. But a month or two ago, I began to have impressed on my heart, I believe by the Spirit, what if we thought about and reflected on Christ's sacrifice through communion more often? And so we're going to experiment with it weekly here for a little bit. And I wanted to do it in a way that doesn't tax our volunteers as much as we sometimes do. In fact, the way that we have been taking communion regularly for years, in stations, going around to different stations in the room, it takes a lot of volunteers to do that. And so I wanted to do this with as few volunteers needed. And so we have these combo cups with the juice and the wafer and the bread together that we bought a couple boxes of these. And so we're going to use those. We might go back to our stations every once in a while, but we're going to be able to take some time and to pause and reflect in each worship service on the sacrifice that Christ offered on our behalf at the cross. And so I encourage you to be mindful of this and be thoughtful, and we will take some time in each service, usually at the end of the message each week, and thoughtfully reflect on Christ's sacrifice on our behalf. And so I'm looking forward to what this next few weeks, it might be a couple months, we haven't put a time frame on it, but what will this mean for our church family as we take Jesus at his words, as often as you do this. And so it's going to be a little bit more than monthly now. It'll be weekly for a little bit. But let's do this together, and let's really thoughtfully reflect on Jesus Christ's sacrifice on our behalf together. So I'm looking forward to doing this together with you.